Hackers attack OU email system. Heavy weekend rains cause Oklahoma rivers to overflow. And a Republican Oklahoma senator agrees to meet with President Obama's nominee to the U.S. Supreme Court. This is OU Nightly. A credential leak has hit the OU email system.
According to the university IT security department, only certain email accounts were notified about the credential leak. We spoke with someone affected by the leak and learned this was an isolated event and only certain people were affected. If you receive an email about this leak, make sure to change your account passwords to protect your information. The leak occurred this morning. The source of the leak was from an external website outside of the university. This website has not been identified.
A weekend of heavy rainfall has provided much needed water to Oklahoma wheat fields and filled State Farm ponds, but it is sending some rivers over their banks. The slow-soaking storm dropped 2 to 3 inches over much of the state and nearly twice that much in southern Oklahoma. The Ouachita River from Davis to just east of Ardmore is flooding, and it's expected to crest tomorrow morning all the way to Lake Texhoma, overrunning or isolating rural homesteads and putting nearly 8,000 acres of agricultural land underwater.
You know, we've had a lot of rain, as you can see.
Definitely
Mandy Bailey is standing by. Mandy, what are the watches and warnings look like right now for the flood areas?
Well, yeah, portions of southern Oklahoma are definitely still under a flood warning. With that cold front that pushed through, we still have some rain that we've seen on and off today. This isn't all the way through the state just yet, but as it pushes on through, we'll see more showers and storms pop up continually as we head through the rest of today. Now, down to our south, we do have a flood warning for our counties in green. That is until Wednesday morning. So we still have a whole nother day where they're going to be under a flood warning. Down closer to Norman, we're still under a flood, aerial flood advisory and warning, so not quite as heavy as you would say as importance on that, but we are still seeing some spots of flash flooding as we head through the day. Unfortunately, we still have a lot of rain on the way. Tonight is probably going to be a little wet still. 60s by 8 o'clock, we'll drop down into the upper 50s by midnight. Wet and cloudy will be your evening, so make sure you have those rain boots and rain jacket handy, especially if you're headed out and about tonight. More rain on the way. I'll have the details of when and how much rain we can expect. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Mandy. Researchers at the National Weather Center have developed a plan to predict flash floods in this area. Floods in the Sooner State last year killed at least 16 people, but scientists at Norman's National Severe Storms Laboratory are exploring ways to protect Oklahomans. One of those projects includes new techniques to predict the threat of flash floods hours before the rain hits. The system would allow people in high-prone flooding areas to get more reliable flood forecast information. This new system will get its first test next month and could go into full-scale operations by June.
The heavy spring rain not only creates a flood threat, it leaves standing water, the perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes. OU Nightly's Gloria Noble shows what you can do to keep from being bitten.
The Cleveland County Health Department and the City of Norman are working to make a plan for residents to prepare for mosquito season.
The work we're doing now is reaching out to the health departments, Cleveland and County and Oklahoma City, and trying to get information together for an action plan that we can distribute information to the public.
The largest breeding ground for mosquitoes is standing water. The health department suggests that residents remain aware of those types of areas and avoid having standing water around their home.
Basic prevention techniques of dumping out standing water, emptying the dog's bowl on a daily basis and filling it with fresh water, cleaning out a bird bath every few days or at least once a week and kind of scrubbing it out and then refilling it. Again, larvicide in decorative ponds or other type of standing water that can't be dumped out and cleaned out.
Zika virus has been a topic of conversation worldwide, but Norman residents need to be most concerned with West Nile this summer.
There have been a few cases, and it is a concern. It's present now in our part of the country, and people need to be concerned about it.
Within the next couple of weeks, the city will send out an official prevention plan for mosquito season. Gloria Noble, OU Nightly.
In Israel today, what appears to be a terror attack. OU Nightly's Rebecca Walters joins us now in the news center with that story. Rebecca.
Dylan, breaking news just hours ago, a bomb ripped through a public bus, killing 21 passengers and sending an adjacent bus up in flames. Israeli officials are calling the bombing a deliberate attack, but it's unclear whether the bombing is linked to terror groups. And more drama this weekend from the Republican presidential candidates. Ted Cruz swept the Wyoming Republican convention. All 14 delegates went to the Texan, and Donald Trump is calling foul play. In response, Trump sent out this tweet saying he's millions of votes ahead of Cruz, and that Cruz's ploy to get delegates from the Republican bosses won't work. And dissatisfied Brazilian citizens are taking a stand. Current president of Brazil, Dilma Rousseff, suffered a crushing blow yesterday as the lower house voted to impeach her. Now the Senate will vote on the movement, and if it passes, Rousseff will be suspended and pending an impeachment trial. And some good news for the economy. The Dow closed above 18,000 today, and that's the first time since last July. Ashley.
Thanks, Rebecca. Two Oklahoma senators, Jen Inhofe and James Lankford, have now agreed to meet Supreme Court nominee Merrick Garland. Lankford previously refused the meeting, saying he did not want to confirm someone to the U.S. Supreme Court until the next president was chosen. However, both senators are willing to meet because of Garland's help during the Oklahoma City bombing investigation in 1995.
Jury selection began today for a Tulsa County Sheriff's Reserve deputy. Robert Bates is on trial for manslaughter after shooting and killing an unarmed man. Investigators say Bates used his gun instead of a taser, killing Eric Harris last year during a pursuit. Tulsa County prosecutors say Bates committed second-degree manslaughter under Oklahoma law. If found guilty, Bates could face a 4-year prison sentence.
And still ahead on OU Nightly, a massive earthquake kills hundreds of people in Ecuador.
Plus, a new program to help conserve water during the dry summer ahead.